Morning, everybody. Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Got another shave of the day, and today we're using Shannon soaps Iberia. I believe this is what I got from Chuck Shaving Channel. So kind of a nice scent. It's hard to describe. It's kind of an earthy tone to it. You know, it's like kind of a loamy aspect to it. Very pleasant. Nothing to say that, hey, I dislike about it. All right, then we got the fourth use of the London Bridge blades with the Rockwell 6S razor, the 6 Solo Special. All right, and then we're going to follow up with a little bit of Old Spice. I was like, Old Spice good. Me like Old Spice. All right, how's your day going? Mine's not too bad. Surviving. Yep, surviving. Sore, tired. Yeah. Getting to the end of that time of the year. Survival of the fittest, where I come out on the other side as a barbecued, sun-baked person. So that should be next week. So, where are you going? Get back in the bowl. Got the old Jeffrey Smith drippiness going on here. Yeah, I kind of like this. You know, it's like when Chuck sent me a whole ton of Shannon soap samples and tubs and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I like this. And I ended up, you know, taking a bunch of the samples I had and scraped some out, and I sent them off to my, you know, one friend Palmer. So he ended up having a ton of different soaps to play with too. So it's like, share the wealth, everybody. All right, there's an affiliate link down below. Sometimes I forget to say it earlier in the thing. There's an affiliate link to the shaving, the razor company. So if you need something from the razor company, go ahead and click on the affiliate link, and then we use that towards giveaways. All right, we're on plate 3 with the 6S. Plate 3 and plate 4 are what I use the most. If I have a little bit more growth, I have a tendency to use plate 4, but right now it's about 24 hours of growth. Now if I'm, you know, go a little bit longer, then I have a tendency to use the slightly more aggressive plate. This could be easily it's nice and hefty too. That's what I like about it. And when Sig sent it to me as a gift, I was like, oh heck yeah. And I started using it. I was like, oh heck yeah, I like this. Could be easily a daily driver razor for me. So if you only had one razor to ever use, this could be one. Here's be honest, Mercor 34C would be the second one, and then the third would probably be the Edwin Jagger DE89 would be a third choice for when it comes to daily dryer. If I had a choice, and it's like, if you can only have one razor, there you go. And this is coming from somebody that used adjustable razor, and I had my Gillette Black Beauties. I used those for decades and thought they were good. It's not until you start trying other stuff and you realize, hey, there's good stuff out there. And I tried other razors. It's like you try them and go, it's a little too aggressive. That's, you know, it's like even putting a mild razor blade in it. It's like, nope, it's peeling my face off. You know, it's like I had a Parker, was it 66R? I put the mild, tried it with just like an Astra blade, and it peeled my face right off. I was like, ooh, okay, I'll try a little more mild razor blade in it, and it's like still did the same thing. Like, and its description was, this is a mild razor. It's like, then what the hell do you call an aggressive razor if you consider this mild? Like, good God. And I've tried other ones over the years now that I was like, a little too more. That's too aggressive. The thing is, I can handle a mild razor because I can adjust it with the blade I use. It's like, you see me still using a King C Gillette, and that's a mild razor. But if you put more of a first use blade in it, or a more aggressive blade, it turns into a pretty decent razor. And it works pretty good for me because my beard growth isn't, like thick razor wire type of hair. And then I shave every day. I'm not one of those individuals that will go 2, 3, 4, 5 days and then shave and consider that, It's like I'm a daily driver. I shave every day. There isn't a day I don't go by I don't shave. The only time I ever have any problem not shaving enough is when I was in the hospital. And then it's like, even then it's like, okay, we got to do something about this. And after the third day, you're like, okay, gotta shave. But I've been lucky enough that after 2-3 days, and it's on the third day, is that it's about the most I've ever gone without shaving. That was even when I was in the Army. It's like you go in the field. It's like an electric razor ended up becoming my friend. It's like, I don't have time to do up some lather and shave in the morning, which I did many times. Which is why one of my Black Beauties is all beat up because it was in my rucksack, my field. I've been with many times. It's like when I was in the field, I'd be sitting there early in the morning. Everybody's just starting to getting around to thinking about doing stuff, and you're like shaving away, and they kind of look at you and go, "You're shaving?" Yep. Can't go a day without a shave. And back then, it's like we always carried our gas mask with you, and you don't get a good seal unless you got a good shave on. And I remember when we were in the field when I was in Armor Officer Basic Course. Captain Sweardos, or call him Swear Guy because I swear he thought he was God, always carried around cases of CS grenades. I mean cases of them, because everywhere you go, he see you doing something or anywhere near your vehicle, he could be driving by, he'd stop, walk out, and throw a CS grenade on you. And you're like, oh crap, I'm gonna get a gas mask on. And your clothes would be covered in CS gas. It looks like son of a bitch with just an a-hole. And you sit there, throw it, and go, and start laughing at you as you're putting your stuff on and then drive away. He was a dickhead. Damn West Pointer. I got back at him. I told the story before, but I'll get to that in a second. But the worst case is that our tank, the fuel pump, the injector blew up on us and was spraying diesel everywhere. The M1 tank can run on anything, but you gotta adjust it to have whatever fuel you're gonna run through. And usually it's JP fuel, it's because it's basically a jet engine on that damn thing. 1,500 horsepower to move that 70-ton tank around, which was fun. But it blew out, and we were spilling fuel everywhere. So we had to literally dig up, and put all the fuel that had spilled out into trash bags. And we were doing this, and he come driving by. You need to be in mop. mop 3, doing that. Like the 100 freaking degrees outside, and we're digging up ground. Our crew was. Even the training NCO that, you know, that was on your tank, you know, he was helping out too, because he was like, this is too freaking much work. And then he comes driving by, you know, because he heard that, you know, we had this problem. And it's like waiting for the mechanics to come by to fix it. And he comes rolling up and says, you need to be doing this in mop 4 or mop 3, which means you put all your gear on, but you don't have the mask on. So it was our, okay, we got into it. And even the training NCO, you know, it's like he carried it, you know, it's like, because when they would do that, he's like, he even had his gas mask with him and all that. And he was like, really, sir, is that necessary? He's like, you never know when you're going to be faced with the enemy. It's like, okay. So we jumped into our gear real quick, pulled it out of our bags, because you always carry your bag with you, with your mop gear, NBC gear basically. And as soon as we got the gear on and started digging again, he just started laughing. He goes, tick, tick, throws a couple CS grenades on us. And then, so we had to go in the mop 4 and then he drives away. Happy camper that he just dicked over some more troopers. And the training NCO that was running on our tank, because they had bolted a bench on top, a seat on top with a seat belt, so he could ride on top of the vehicle, you know, like as you're driving around training. You know. And he was just cussing a freaking storm up. I swear I heard some words I've never heard before. And he was like, one of those onesies, if I could get this, pick up one of these things, I'd light one of these things right up his ass. He was pissed. And because that's the kind of a-hole this guy was. But we got done with we spent our month in the field basically, training and everything, because basically you're fighting like a micro war, basically. They had one company versus another company, and you're constantly in the training area fighting each other, learning how to do armored warfare, applying it. And that was pretty good. It's like they had his class ranking crap that he brought from West Point. He was trying to rank her, and I was always ranked right in the middle of the class, because, you know, it's like, hey, I didn't give a shit about all that. But then when we did our rankings for when we were in the field, it's like I was ranked in the top 10 of our class, because it's like, geez, it's like, I was already NCO. It's like I already did a lot of this crap, you know, maneuvering and all that, so it wasn't new to me. But we had our final formation and said, all right, everybody's done, all right, you can, it's like, come on in. And he's like happy. He's like, hey, yeah, you're right, yeah. And I could see he had a bag. He had his we always call him a fag bag, but he had a big old bag with him. And I was like, I knew exactly what the freaking hell was going to happen, because as soon as he's done with his speech, he's going to start tossing CS grenades at us. And yeah, got done saying, hey, great training, everything, you guys did good, you had good NCOs, they got you trained up there, everybody passed, you know, it was like good numbers and all that stuff. And then he started reaching into his bag, and I said, all right, it's like, I popped my gas mask on. And I was already ready for it, because I knew what was coming. And he threw one, and one came right at my feet, and I ran up and I just kicked the grenade, and it flew to the freaking air, and it hit him right in the freaking chest. And he was like, Oh my God, it was hilarious. It was laughing. And the training NCO that was on my tank, because we're running towards our vehicle, and he puts his arm around. That was one hell of a kick, sir. You did a good job. All right. He was laughing his ass off. He was very pleased at what I did. It was funny when you're watching this son of a bitch just sitting there like, oh, because he didn't carry a freaking mask with him. He didn't have it. So he just took the full brunt of one right in the face with no protection. And I was laughing. And people thought it was funny as hell. Like, payback's a freaking bitch. But yeah. And after that, after graduating, we went on to, what do you call it? Scout school. U.S. Army Scout School. Yes, the Army has an official Scout school where they teach you how to be an armor scout, straight leg scout. That was like 2 months long too. Just glad that asshole didn't come along. He stayed and trained. But come to find out later, it's like the individuals that were really crappy, that they didn't want into command and everything, they always put them into training companies and stuff. So, and I guess it was about, when the heck did Band of Brothers come out? That was like 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. About 10 years later. When you see Captain Sobel, from Band of Brothers, he was basically like Captain Sobel. He was that much of an a-hole. Oh my God. But when we were at doing all of our training, every time someone got injured, it was always a West Pointer. Like, God, like, what is wrong with you guys? It was like kids that, for the first time, getting free and just doing whatever. It's like, hey, we're no longer in the academy, and we can just like run rampant. They were getting themselves in trouble right and left. Some were getting OWIs, and like the leash was off of them. They didn't know what to do. Every time when you're in the fields, they tell you the same thing I told my son when he joined the Navy. And I said, every damn piece of equipment that's in the military will try to kill you. It will. It's like, one way or another, it's going to try to kill you. So, these guys would always, it's like, I remember one of the first things they told you is like, when you're still in the garage area working on the tanks and learning on the tanks, is like, when you're in the driver's hole, leave your helmet on. When you get out of the hole, leave your helmet on. Once you get out, then you can take your helmet off, and then you can drop it in the seat. And then even the specialists that were, and sergeants and stuff that were teaching you everything, were a little bit of Old Spice. It was like saying that, and it's like, yeah, makes sense. Okay, yeah, because you got the main gun. You got that 120 millimeter cannon that's right above your head when you come out of the driver's hole. Oh, that smells good. A little tingling right here. But yeah, it's like, I watched him do it. I seen this West Pointer come crawling out of the hole. He takes his helmet off, sets it on the front slope, and he gets out and stands up. And you got the mantlet that's right there, and it's like, he goes, stand straight up really fast and bam! He splits his head open right here. And he's like, "Arr!" and just falls face forward, right onto the front slope, and he's like, breaks his nose, splits his head open. We're like, oh my God. So then we did the combat lifesavers. It's like, kind of thing where we pulled him out, drug him out, and then they airlifted his ass out via helicopter. It's like he was out. He was comatose basically. So, but he ended up coming back later. He got recycled and put into the next class because it took him a while to recover from the head injury and the nose injury and everything. Then we had another dumbass. They told you do not mess because there's a halon system in the tanks. So don't mess with it. It's like you got these halon bottles that it's like if you got a fire, the halon system will go explode out because if it gets heat or anything. Or you can manually hit it to pause. And so they say pull this little thing and it'll automatically blow the halon throughout the system and will put the fire out. And he was sitting in the driver's hole playing with the halon system that you were told not to freaking mess with. And it went off into his face, stuff comes out really cold because it's under pressure. And it's like, like if you ever felt those spray bottles, used for blowing like computer stuff out, it gets really freaking cold. And you're like, oh, that's so cold, I can barely hold it. It went right into his face, froze his eyeballs. And he ended up going to the hospital. He was in the hospital for like 3 weeks, I think, before he started getting his eyesight back. And then they recycled him and put him in the next class behind us because like, dumbass. Yeah, what can you do? And it was like shit like that non-stop. It was like I can't. Now the guys that were always squared away, it's like we always ran. We had Marines that would train back when the Marines still had armor. They would train with us, and those guys were squared away. All right, so that was Shannon Soap's Iberia from the Iberian Peninsula there over by Spain. Really nice scent, man. I really like it. And then we had the fourth use of the London Bridge blades with the Rockwell 6S 6 Solo Special. All right, that's the shave day, everybody. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share the friends, and we'll see you next one. Rusty out.